All right, shalom, shalom. This is the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, star 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We under the leadership of Commander Jenny Hanna. You understand what we teach is so-called Black Latinos and Native Indians are the true biblical Jews according to the Bible, according to archaeology. You understand? I'm preaching off some more Dagya, holding down the scripture breakdown class. Um, yeah, understand. If y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, just post them in the chat. Or if you're a student in the class, you want to come up, you understand, just send that request and we'll be able to get you up here. Um, yeah, understand. So give me one moment here. All right. Um, one moment here. Hey, Ratazak, are you available? Are you available to come in the room? Just answer me that. If not, I'm gonna see if we can get somebody else. If you're not, it's no sweat. Are you able to come up? If not, it's no sweat. Let me grab my sword real quick. Got Trooper out design once again. Are you able to come in the room? If you can, just let me know, and then I'll be able to bring you up. You understand? Like I said, this is the ISUPK, man. You understand? The only people on the planet Earth that is truly, truly serving the Most High, man. We're the only people on the planet that truly gives a damn about God's chosen people, Black Latinos and Native Indians. You understand? We are 10 toes deep to provide them this information that would allow them to serve the Most High the proper way. You understand? And just like the title is, you understand, we're going to get right into it. We'll have some technical difficulties getting the live set up, you understand, but there's no sweat. You understand? We as Black Latinos and Native Indians, we are very, very easily, as a whole, as a people, to get distracted from truly serving the Most High, man. Keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, and realizing that we have a dietary law, and realizing that we can't sleep with another man's wife, or we can't be a whore, we can't be a whoremonger. These are the things that have truly, truly interfered God's chosen people from truly, truly serving Him. When I say Him, of course, I'm talking about the Most High, man. You understand? We have to come together. You understand? The Bible talks about gather ye together, yea, gather ye, O nation that is not desired. You understand? We are that nation that is not desired. And guess what? We've always been not desired, man. You understand? Since the beginning of time, man. You understand? And of course, we're seeing that we're not desired in these times now. You understand? With ICE and, police brutality. You understand? I just seen a very, very heartbreaking video on social media. You understand? Where a 14-year-old girl, you understand, she was getting harassed and she got bullied. You understand? And if I'm understanding right, you understand, she was the one that actually called the police. You understand? And of course, once the police got there, she was a little, not necessarily uptight, but she was very vocal. You understand? And telling the situation. Come to find out, you understand, these devils, these of course, white society, and majority of them was white. You understand? They slammed this 14-year-old sister in the concrete pavement. You understand? Couldn't have been no more than 90 pounds, man. You understand? Had a busted lip. You understand? Scarred up on her face. You understand? Put her in handcuffs. All that, man. You understand? All over some type of disagreement, man. You understand? And she was the main one that had called, man. You understand? In these times, man, the only way, as far as God's chosen people, I mean, Black, Latinos, and Native Indians, is going to be able to overcome white society is we come together, man. You understand? We're not talking about no Black Panther movement, or no Black Lives Matter movement or anything like that. We talking about everything that's surrounded around this Bible, man. That should be our main focus. You understand? That should be truly our main focus. And how can we truly serve the Most High? You understand? But once again, you understand, like I said in the title, we have a lot of things that's that's distracting us from truly serving the Most High, man. You understand? We have these slaveries, you understand, which ain't nothing wrong with slaving, you understand, but some brothers and sisters, they may have an option to change their slavery, or change as far as their work schedule, so they can be a little bit more available. You understand? So we as a people, we as a whole, have to truly, truly come together, man. You know what I'm saying? Help a brother and sister out, man. You understand? And make sure that you're sharing these classes, make sure that you're checking in, make sure that you're doing everything possible that you can do to truly serve the most high, man. Because guess what? It's not about me. You understand? You understand? It's about serving what's in this Bible, man. You understand? Day in and day out, every single day. You know what I'm saying? We can't be wishy-washy. You understand? So, oh yeah, and if I didn't say, if I did have any questions, comments, or concerns, you understand, make sure you type those in. So, let me see how I can do this. One moment here. I'm gonna try to get the phone up here. Hopefully, it can stay up. Let's see here. Should allow you. All right, boom. So that first one is, you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna go through some examples of what is interfering in our lives as far as Black, Latino, and Native Indian lives, that is truly interfering us from serving the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? And keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, and trying to think that we're bigger and better than everybody, man. All right. First one is, of course, and that's just another word for interfering, is just a distraction, man. You understand? And a distraction, what? Just like 1 second here. You understand? And that distraction is a key thing that's in this world, talking about the Black, Latinos, and Native Indians world, that is destroying the Black and Brown community as a whole, man. You understand? And we have to realize, you understand, when it comes to truly serving the Most High, you understand, we're doing this, you understand, because we are the true chosen people of the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? You have these fake Jewish people, and you got these so-called Israelis thinking that they're the ones that serving the Most High, when all in reality, guess what? Black, Latinos, and Native Indians, we are the ones that's supposed to be serving the Most High, man. You understand? Hell, you got majority of the Jewish people. Hell, they're taking advantage of the government assistance. You understand? And they call us poor, and they call us all these abominable things, and they're the ones that taking advantage of the government. To a T. You understand? Which is nothing wrong with that. You understand? But at the same time, if these are supposed to be quote unquote God's chosen people, you understand, they should be able to, take over the world. You understand? But they're like they're doing essentially the same thing that we're doing. You understand? As far as quote unquote in the struggle. You understand? But everybody look at them as a higher entity. Oh man, you understand? The Bible says that they are beneath us, man. And that's how it should be, and that's how it always been, man. You understand? So yeah, so like I said, it's a few things that that play a part in what's truly interfering God's chosen people from truly serving the Most High. You understand? We got attention. You understand? We got those people that just love that attention. You understand? They very very attentive to themselves. You know what I'm saying? I believe we're gonna talk about like a little bit more in social media with the likes and the shares, and everybody want to be seen. You understand? Another one we're gonna Lord allow talk about today is selfishness. You understand? As one thing that would definitely interfere with as far as serving the Most High as well too. And another one is desire. You understand? Like, what's your desire? You understand? Like, what do you want to do in life? You understand? And then, a lot of us, as far as a whole, as far as Black, Latinos, and Native Indians, we drift off, and our desire and our zeal goes somewhere else versus serving the Most High. And then we have probably one of the most important things is that knowledge, man. You understand? Like, where are you receiving your knowledge from? You understand? Is it false doctrine? You understand? And we can talk about that in the Bible as well too. You understand? Because the Bible talks about being aware of the ones that are going to teach you false doctrines. You understand? They call them false prophets. You understand? So that's probably one of the main important things, man. But of course, all of them, they go hand in hand. Um, so the first one, and like I said, we're gonna kind of probably gonna try to run through these a little quick, and then we're gonna get some scriptures, and then we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here and um let everybody prepare for Command Jenny Hannah radio show. Speaking of that, you understand, make sure that you are paying your tithes, make sure that you are getting your getting everything in line for the Passover April 4th. Make sure you pay your Passover fee. Make sure you get all your accommodations. Make sure you reach out to your camp leader for any additional questions. You understand? And make sure that you're there. You understand? It's the most important thing. Make sure that you're there. You understand? So what was that number one? Attention. And like I said earlier, if anybody got any questions, comments, you understand, just go ahead and type them in and I'll be able to get to those accordingly. You understand? Attention. You understand that our attention span is very, very, very low, man. You understand? It's very, very low. You understand? It has to be something that is just um something that catches our eye, or just catches our mind, to be able to have our attention span to stay on that for a very long time. You understand? But in today's society, you understand, our attention is being stolen from us as a whole, and taken away from us, taken from something that's not even real. You understand? Look at the reality TV shows. You understand? I'm like, I remember growing up, and when they had, oh man, what was that first one? One of the first ones was based out of New York, if I'm not mistaken. It came on MTV. You understand? I'm kind of showing my age here. You understand? But you like it. It wasn't MTV Cribs. It was like some type of reality TV show. You understand? But it started from there. You understand? That was a little realistic, but from there it just became more fake and more fake and more fake. Just like if you're growing up, you understand, and whatever era you were in, you understand, when it comes to like I'm talking about sports, as far as like wrestling. You understand? Wrestling, you understand? When I was younger, and someone that may be younger than me, that's younger, that are seeing the wrestling now, you know what I'm saying? It just seems so far fetched and just so fake. You understand? Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with watching entertainment. You understand? There's nothing wrong with being on social media, but when it grasping your attention a little bit too much, and you're not able to, tap into class, and you're not able to, be at the feast days and be at the Sabbath days, and truly serving the Most High by keeping His law, statutes, and commandments, then that's the issue right there, man. You understand? That's a real, real big issue right there. You understand? Um, let's see here. Yeah, I just talked about social media. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like the Amazons, what is it? Like even TikTok, and all these different type of platforms that'll make you spend a little bit more money that you don't have. Now, of course, once again, it's not nothing wrong with, as far as spending those funds, you know what I'm saying? But make sure that wherever you at, that your location and your school have everything that they need first. You know what I'm saying? Like before we splurge on these different type of items that 9 out of 10 times we probably not even going to use, is you're going to just going to get in the closet and collect more dust. You understand? So that's another one. You understand, when we're talking about having our attention somewhere else where it doesn't need to be. You understand? And it's a study, you understand, that's it takes about 8 days straight. It takes about anywhere from 8 to 10 days straight before something can be, for something to become a habit. You understand? So, like, like, let's just take, for instance, checking in the class. You understand? I know a lot of brothers and sisters checked in today, but at some given point, you know what I'm saying, they never checked in, or it was a little bit inconsistent with checking in the class. And then guess what happened? It became consistent. You understand? They check in all, almost every class now. You understand? You got a I'm a Wad Rib. You got the sister down there in Myrtle Beach, Panayan, Ratazak, young man, Josiah, you understand, rocking it out. And so yeah, so let's not lose our focus on the small things. You know what I'm saying? Just like we said, it takes anywhere from 8 to 10 days to form a habit. You know what I'm saying? And you want to look at that as far as with classes, as far as not eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Of course, you know what I'm saying. If you're new coming into the truth, you know what I'm saying. We don't expect, you know what I'm saying, automatic stop. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers and sisters, they can stop that. Like even when it comes to with drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the main distractions, you know what I'm saying? Drugs and that alcoholism. You understand? Like I said, you know what I'm saying? If a person been, doing drugs all their life, whether it's smoking marijuana, whether it's on that powder, on the pills, whatever the case may be, guess what? That's something that their body has been conformed to. So of course it's going to take time. It's going to absolutely take time for them to be able to wing themselves off that completely. You understand? But guess what? There's brothers and sisters here in ISUPK that were once on drugs, that were once alcohols. You understand? That were once whores and whoremongers. And guess what? They changed their lives. Why? Because they knew that it was very, very important to serve the Most High, and that their lives did not matter anymore. Man. You understand that their lives did not matter anymore. And guess what? Black Latinos, Black Latinos and Native Indians' lives matter more than our own lives. You understand? That's the sacrifices that we do when we take that oath, man. You understand? Our lives does not matter anymore, man. You understand? We can, take calls 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You understand? You got your slavery. You understand? You texting brothers and sisters. You understand? That's the life that we signed up for, man. You understand? Our lives does not matter whatsoever, man. You understand? So let's make sure that, of course, you are seeking that wise counsel. You're getting that advice. If you do have a drug or alcohol issue, or just any issue whatsoever, man, you understand? Just make sure that we are truly, truly, taking this thing just a little bit more serious, man. Just taking it a little bit more serious, man. Day after day after day after day, man. Let's just continue to do it, man. Every single day, man. And then guess what? You'll have that residual cycle of righteousness, man. Now we won't have to worry about an issue that we have already overcome, or a stumbling block, you know what I'm saying, that we won't fall back down. You understand? Now we can master something else that we may have issues with. You understand? It's just a small, small thing, man. But it's but that's the true reality of it, man. That's truly, truly the true reality of it, man. We have to, as a people, man, come together and help one another out, man. Talking about God's chosen people, Black, Latinos, and Native Indians, man. um, you know what I'm saying? Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Social media, like I said before, TikTok, you know what I'm saying? We in the what they call it. Shoot, I don't hear people too much talk about the metaverse anymore, like that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody must be in a in a in the metaverse right now, because you rarely hear about that anymore, man. Another one is sports, glam, um, things that, once again, there's nothing wrong with it. So nothing wrong with watching sports, and nothing wrong with, get your hair done, and the makeup, whatever the case may be. But you don't want that to be able to destroy your chance of getting in the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Black, Latinos, and Native Indians as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Not singling anybody out, whatever the case may be. Just talking as a whole. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that our attention span is truly, truly on the Most High, man. And that comes with practice and just repeating it over and over and over again, man. You understand? And just think about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Sports, Hollywood, music. If you're not doing something that's going to build their social construct, they are going to humiliate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at sports, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't make it to the Super Bowl, oh, it was this, it was that. You know what I'm saying? If you're not even within Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Oh, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, guess what? We're gonna talk about your mother, we're gonna talk about your father, we're gonna talk about your upbringing, and we're gonna destroy you. You understand? So why not use all that intention that we're, trying to get to the top of, whatever the case may be, why not use that to truly serve the most high, man? You know what I'm saying? Because law, statutes, and commandments is not grievous, man. It's not grievous. You understand? And more importantly, you understand, we have to know how to, we as a people, we have to learn how to put things in a box. You know what I'm saying? And open up a box, you understand, and use it as use it just as a source. You know what I'm saying? Talking about all the other essential things that we just talked about as far as the social media, talk about, like the Facebook, TikTok, and Amazon, and the sports, and all those things that is drawing our attention away from serving the most high. We gotta learn how to put that in the box, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta learn how to put that in the box and just leave it in the box and just use it as a resource. You know what I'm saying? Use it as, whether use it for a resource, whether you use it for entertainment, whatever the case may be. You understand? We gotta realize, you understand, like we climb up that ladder of fame, or we got all the money and riches in the world. You know what I'm saying? You can be a millionaire, but guess what? As a whole, like as far as us, we're still slaves, man. And that's everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can have $1 million right now, and guess what? We're still slaves as a people, man. You know what I'm saying? A person that has that $1 million, they may not be experiencing slavery indirectly. You understand, or should like it directly, but guess what? They should be feeling it indirectly. Why? Because guess what? Not everybody he knows has $1 million, man. You understand? Not everybody that's in Israel have $1 million. So guess what? He's experiencing it indirectly. Whether that person, decides to address it or ignore it. Guess what? Still a slave, man. Still a slave. You understand? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with having all the money and all the fame in the world. You understand? But we have to have in the back of our mind says that, man. You understand? Our people as a whole, you understand, we are struggling. You understand? We have to get off, us. You understand? We have to get off that it's all about me, 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 me. No, man. It's about the nation of Israel, man. God's chosen people, man. You understand? It's about God's chosen people truly, truly coming and truly coming together and knowing how to serve the most high, man. You understand? And once our focus, get directed away from not necessarily nonsense, but just just having our attention span, springed on something else. And guess what? Now we learn about Christ being a black man. You know what I'm saying? Now we learn about that God's chosen people is only black, Latinos, and Native Indians. Now we're learning that what? That Christ didn't die for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Now those things, now those type of knowledge and those type of nuggets is going to be embedded all throughout of our mindsets, man. You know what I'm saying? Now we know that Christ, God and Christ is not the same people. You understand? Now we understanding that what? That they're 12 tribes of Israel. And those things are being embedded all throughout of our mindsets, man. And it's staying within our mindsets. Why? Because guess what? We have all those other things in the in the box, and we're using them as as a disposable or for entertainment, whatever the case may be. Now we're doing those things, man. You understand? I realize, man, that white society, their main thing is to disconnect us from this Bible, man. Disconnect us from everything that we were once so powerful in. They want us to just be below them. You understand? I realize, man, you understand, we got the another thing is, like outside of, like the social media is that phone, man. You understand? We be on our phone 24/7, man. 24/7. We have that phone in our hand. You understand? We can't live without our phone. You understand? I remember um a few years of back, you understand, it just got to a point where I was on my phone way too much. That's what, man, I just put my phone up, and I wasn't on my phone for like a good 6 hours, man. I just let it be. You understand? Now that's not suggested. You understand? Or like you may have emergencies, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But I just see myself like that was one of those attention things that was steering me away from staying focused in class and being able to participate in class, or just being able to just have my attention span exactly on what that priest and prophet was talking about according to the Bible, man. You understand? So of course that's one thing that brothers and sisters can definitely take. I advise talk to your camp leader to see exactly what he thinks about it. You understand? And let's just rock it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue to truly serve the Most High and serve serve the Black God. Man. You know what I'm saying? Let's not serve the Most High like Christians do it. You understand? Because of course, like everybody realize that we're not Christians in here whatsoever. You understand? Christianity is just another entity that is truly, in my eyes, they're disrespecting the Most High, man. Yeah, you understand with the things that they do, man. And like we see these things on social media, you know what I'm saying? People are making, fun of it, and people are making it comical. But when it truly boils down to it, it's a, from my understanding and like from my research, it is truly a mental illness that is destroying God's chosen people, man. It's a mental illness that is truly destroying good people. You understand? They may not all be great. They may not all be good. Because best believe it is some um very disgusting people in that Christian church. You understand? And they can't say that for fake Israelites. You understand? They can't say that. You know, they can't say that about the ISUPK, man. You understand? Because we've been doing this thing since 1969, and everybody else that fell from us and want to do their own thing. Now we're seeing their true corruption, and while they are just truly an entity of what of that Christian doctrine, man. You understand? But I realize, man, that our mind can be thrown off within the blink of an eye, man. Our whole attention span can be thrown off in the blink of an eye. You know what I'm saying? We hear that one ding, or we hear that phone ring, or we hear that email ringtone, whatever the case may be, or the like a lot of people they have their phone on vibrate. You know what I'm saying? So they got a specific vibration for a text message, for a phone call, for an email, for social media notification. You understand? We gotta realize, man, that once we're doing these things, we gotta realize that our attention is going somewhere else instead of serving the Most High, man. Like I said before, there's nothing wrong with like having a phone and being on your phone, but when we're allowing our phone to distract us from serving the Most High, that's an issue. You understand? Another thing is being selfish. You understand? Selfishness. You understand? When we're only thinking about, like when a person is only thinking about themselves, you understand? A lot of people miss what? That their own people is being oppressed. You understand? When we think about ourselves, it's a little bit too much. Now, of course, what I'm saying, we're not saying, like don't go to the doctor, don't, like check up on yourself, whatever the case may be. We're talking about when all you do is think about yourself. You understand? And you don't think about others, that's an issue. You understand? Because look what Christ did, man. Christ was the ultimate sacrifice. You understand? How can anyone be selfish if they say that they follow Christ, man? You understand? How can anyone be selfish? You understand? But of course, once again, in that Christian church, man, you understand? Everybody doing all these abominable things. You understand? You got Christian pastors, molesting and essaying kids and little boys and little girls that truly stem from the Roman Catholic Church. You understand? You have to realize, man, that everything that the Christian church is doing, guess what? It stem from something else, man. That Roman Catholic Church, or these pagan holidays. You understand? I realize, man, it is very serious when we talk about that Christian church, man. Because the Christian church is damn near one of the most selfish people that I've ever met personally. You understand? Just within my life, as far as even when I was in that Christian church, man. You understand? Um, We gotta think about, like, even with, talking about, Christianity, how they always like to bring up the John 3:16. You understand? And when they ask for the breakdown, understand, they never listen. They try to go to another scripture, and then we take them down in that scripture, as far as, show them undeniable biblical proof that they have no idea what they're talking about. And guess what? I've been in these arguments. Saying, I've, been in these debates at camp. Saying, I've been there. Saying, I done been on the phone talking to brothers and sisters, talking about John 3:16, man. Saying, I done, talk to brothers and sisters about, this quote unquote Star of David, which is truly the shield of David. Saying, we done been in these arguments, man. You understand? But everybody want proof of that. But guess what? When it comes to, us, as far as, shedding the light on, the Christian church being an evil entity, you understand? No one wants to talk about that. No one wants to bring that up. You understand? But guess what? The men here in ISUPK, we're going to continue to bring it up, man. Why? Because we give a damn about God's chosen people. You understand? We want to tell them the truth according to the Bible. You understand? Not on our feelings, not trying to make the Bible into a box and just pull one scripture from it and just roam free. No, those are the things that we're not doing, man. Those are the things that we're not doing at all, man. Um, it's another one. I don't know if I want to continue talk about that. No. Like I said earlier, if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, just go ahead, type them in, and we'll be able to get to them accordingly. Another thing that is interfering with Israel, as far as God's chosen people, as far as from serving the Most High, is desire. You know what I'm saying? We are, like, and all this goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Because we're focused on something that is truly not building up God's chosen people, man, or just not building people up as a whole, man. You understand? Think about it, man. You understand? We as people, we have multiple accounts to build up in our own little world, man. You understand? We got so many accounts, man. As far as talking about, as far as talking about people as a whole. You understand? We got so many people that we have to build up, man, to be able to do what, man? To be able to gain them, not necessarily win them over. Because guess what? Whether you believe it or not, if you Black, Latino, and Native Indian, guess what? You're a Hebrew Israelite. You understand? It's more so, going back to that. I believe it's the last one, talking about that knowledge base. You understand? We just got to know that we're Hebrew Israelites. You understand? We have to know it. You understand? I'm telling you right now. You understand? If you're Black, Latino, and Native Indian, you are a Hebrew Israelite. You understand? But our desire has gone somewhere else. Our drive has gone somewhere else. Our zeal has gone somewhere else. You understand? Those things have just truly left us. You understand? Truly left us, man. You understand? It's all about, like that, like I said earlier, man, that desire of what we, truly thrive to do, man. What we truly thrive to want to be in life. You understand? What we want to accomplish in life, man. You understand? What we want to be able to tell our fellow brothers and sisters about this truth, man. Those are the things that we should be looking up to, man. Those are things that we should be desiring every single day. Every time we wake up, how can we become a better Hebrew Israelite? How can I become a better brother? How can I become a better sister? How can I do these things, man? You understand? Come to this truth, man. Coming out ISUPK. You understand? The things that would change your life forever, man. You understand? Thing that would change your life forever, man. You understand? Um, the last one, then we're gonna get into some scriptures. Kind of want to at least have 45 minutes to an hour where we just talk about a number of scriptures and pull out scriptures that that talk about these are four things that has interfered us from serving the Most High, man. All right. The last one is going to be that knowledge base, man. You understand? We gotta realize, man, that everything, let's just look at Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Because Christianity, they have what? They have so many denominations just within Christianity, man. So many denominations that is truly within Christianity. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? You won't even find the word denomination in the Bible, man, or anything that's close to the word denomination within the Bible, man. You understand? Like we didn't done, like we didn't did the research, we didn't did the studying. There's nothing come close to it, man. You understand? It does talk about false doctrines. You understand? It does talking about false prophets. That it does talk about. You understand? But the Bible says it's only one doctrine, man. It's only one doctrine. You understand? So, that's a question that I have to my, to the Christians. You understand? Why is it so many denominations, man? You understand? Why is it so many? And my Bible talks about one doctrine. You understand? I ask Christians that all the time, and I can never get a straight answer. Never get a straight answer, man. hmm You understand? And like we talked about social media earlier, you understand, it is some good benefits within social media because guess what? We're on social media now. You understand? Guess what? Maybe, who knows, like 20, 30 years ago, ISUPK, you understand, they didn't have this access of the social media. You understand? From my understanding, they had tapes, where a brother would come to class, he would teach the class, and then they would send the tapes off. You know what I'm saying? Or they will be over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Some type of conference call, like we have Zoom now. I'm saying how long Zoom been out. You know what I'm saying? But they will have a conference call. You know what I'm saying? So it is some benefits to social media, but guess what? We have to use it wisely, man. Let's make sure that we're sharing these classes, man. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure it's somebody on your friends list that has have seen, the disgusting ways of Christianity. And guess what, man? They trying to figure out themselves, man. And guess what? Just by you sharing that class, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it don't have to be this class necessarily. So we got classes going on, like all across the globe right now. You understand? But more importantly, guess what? Share it. You understand? Hell, like save it tomorrow and save it save it today and then share it tomorrow. You understand? But just share it. We have to push this truth as a whole, man. We have to truly, truly push this truth as a whole, man. Um let's see. Um um let's see here. Yeah, when we talk about the um artificial distractions as well too. You know what I'm saying? We got, like AI is just, it's just taking a brunt. You know what I'm saying? AI, you know what I'm saying? Like AI now, it wasn't AI, like even hell, just 6 months ago. You understand? They are advancing AI to a point where it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, like you see a person, it's like, man, it looks dead on like a person. You know what I'm saying? Like no like type of anime, no type of cartoon, filter where it can be. Look like a real human being. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine what, AI is gonna be like, you know, hell, a year from now. Ain't no telling. You understand? But more importantly, man, you understand, like I said, that's another distraction. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers and sisters, and we as a whole, you know what I'm saying, we look at AI as as a feature of technology, which it is. You understand? And like we may have to start making AI videos and incorporating the truth which we already have. You understand? We got animated cartoons on, scripture breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Sisters doing books for kids and doing books for adults. You understand? Like we're truly, truly doing this thing, man. But guess what, man? If brothers and sisters that are in the class, you know what I'm saying, and want to learn, you know what I'm saying, all we doing is ask you to just share the class. You understand? Share the class, man. And share it to your family members, you know what I'm saying? Even if your family members don't care for whatever the case may be, guess what, man? They'll come around, man. You know, whether they come around for the good or the bad, man. And guess what? They will come around, man. Will truly, truly come around, man. You understand? Then you got that Siri, Alexa. You know what I'm saying? Look, shoot, my dog on Siri just trying to my Siri just came up. You know what I'm saying? Cancel Siri. Siri, cancel. Oh man, I don't even know if it's going. Okay, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know what I'm saying? We got all those different other ones, man. You know what I'm saying? You got Alexa. It was another post on social media that I seen as well too. And like I said, man, social media is it can be used as a resource, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this story right here, it was heartbreaking as well too, man. You know what I'm saying? They had some type of um TikTok challenge. You got all these different type of TikTok challenges that are telling kids to, unalive themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? And kids, you know what I'm saying, they, like they're so caught up in that tablet and in that iPad that they forget the reality that's outside of that tablet and iPad. You know what I'm saying? And it happens to the adults as well too, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so many stories of people getting, of unaliving themselves or, causing harm to themselves to the point where they become unalive because they're trying to follow some type of trend or some type of challenge that they see on social media, whether it's TikTok or YouTube. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is a real big one for the kids, and TikTok, they have those challenges for the teenagers and adults. You understand? And we follow them as a whole, man. We truly, truly do. Once again, that's another distraction that is, you know, at the end, you understand you're doing what? We are unaliving ourselves, man. We have to do it, man. Hmm. Yep. We have to, man. I continue to come together as a people, man. That's the only way we're gonna be able to overcome all this, man. The only way we're gonna be able to overcome it, man. The only way we're gonna be able to overcome anything is if we truly, truly, like I said earlier, take this thing just a little bit more serious, man. You understand? Another thing, you understand, when it comes to that knowledge base, you understand, it's like we receive the knowledge, but we don't accept it. Why? Because we as a people, we're scared of change. You understand? We're scared to change, man. You understand? We're scared of being, looked upon different. We're scared of, what our friends would think of us, or what our, mom and dad would think of us, or what our kids would think of us. You understand? And that's another thing as well too. You understand, when it comes to adults, you understand, we are allowing our kids be the determined factor of whether we want to go to church or whether we want to truly serve the Most High, man. You understand? And we're telling you here now, man, that nothing good is coming out that Christian church, man. Nothing good, man. You understand? And I can truly stand on that, man. Nothing good is coming from those Christians' teachings, man. Nothing at all, man. You understand? Like I said earlier, you know what I'm saying, with that metaverse and what is that? That GTA and all these the PS5 and the PCs. You understand? You gotta think about it, man. In a metaverse or within these games, guess what, man? It's just everybody like especially with that GTA as well too. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody getting unalive every 5 to 6 seconds. You understand? Somebody getting unalive every 5 to 6 seconds, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is crime based. You understand? Everything is crime based. And now look at us, man. You know what I'm saying? We in quote unquote 2026, and guess what, man? People are still getting unalive, man. People are still getting hung from trees, man. People are still unaliving themselves, man. I realize, man, that the time is ticking, man. We gotta realize, man, that white society is truly, truly the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. They have done a number on deceiving God's chosen people. They have done a number of deceiving us from of our reality, which is this Bible, and they gave us a false reality. You know what I'm saying? In their world, in their glory. You know what I'm saying? In their fame. You understand? To the point where now it's like we want to be like them. You understand? We want to do what they do. We want to do the things that, that white society do. You understand? We just got over that filthy, filthy holiday spirit. You know what I'm saying? With the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. And guess what? Now we what? We about to get ready for that Valentine's Day, man, which is a wicked thing as well too. All these holidays, man, they're just 100% pagan and has nothing to do with the Most High, man. It's against the Most High, man. Let's get into these scriptures. Let's go to the First Corinthians. We're gonna go to First Corinthians, chapter 3. First Corinthians chapter 3. We're gonna read verse 16. All right. Where we at here? Know ye this is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 3, right, and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are not the temple of God, and that the spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? You know what I'm saying? We gotta realize, man, that going back to what? Going back to those distractions of, alcoholism and letting drugs control our lives, man. I realize, man, that the Most High is dwelling within us, man. You understand? In real life, not no fairy tale. You understand? And that's a problem. You understand? As far as we don't, we don't, respect the Most High, man. As a whole, we truly, truly disrespect the Most High every single day, man. Primarily that Christian church, man. I'm not talking about anybody in the ISUPK, man. You understand? I'm talking about that disgusting, filthy Christian church, man. They disrespect the Most High to a T, man. And all you gotta do is go on social media, man. That's all you gotta do. Go on social media. You know, say look up your local Christian church, man. You understand? They had a Christian pastor. You understand? And it's all like it's just a big circus show, man. They had a Christian pastor spit in his hand. I'm talking about globs of spit, and he smeared it on a brother's face, man. You understand? I didn't even know what the quote unquote message was supposed to be about. You understand? Then you had one other pastor. Um what was it? He had like a syrup bottle, and he's just throwing syrup all everywhere. It's just like it's just no context in it whatsoever, man. It's a straight up and down circuit show, man. You understand? Then you have, once again, man, it's like these pastors is like they it's like they thrive on, quote unquote, trying to impress the congregation. You know what I'm saying? By buying all these fancy clothes and buying all these fancy shoes and buying the best cars. You understand? And meanwhile, you understand, you got people that's within that congregation that don't have lights on. You understand? Or don't have a meal to eat. You understand? Or don't have a place to stay. But they're coming to that church though, man, and they're giving you every dollar that they got, man. All because they believe in that Christian faith, what have you. You understand? Let's keep reading. Read that again. First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that you are the temple of God, and that the spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy, for the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. Verse 18. Once again, let no man deceive himself, and any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise, man. You understand? I realize, man, that everybody that seems to be wise, whether it's in the world, whether it's within the Christian church that say that they got all the knowledge in the world. Guess what? It's a strong possibility that they're not wise, and they it's like what the Bible says that 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 they are a fool, man. You understand? Verse 19. For the wisdom of the world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, man. You understand? His own craftiness image having those goggles on in the metaverse. You understand? And then Christ return. Guess what, man? Christ is going to truly drop that EMP, man. That's just gonna that's just gonna destroy everything, man. I realize, man, that when it comes to truly serving the Most High, man, you gotta look at the ones that are wise. And I'm not talking about intelligent, smart in the world. I'm talking about the brothers and sisters that are wise when it comes to serving the Most High, man. Those are the brothers and sisters that I want to be around. You understand? You understand? And when it comes to pulling brothers and sisters in this truth, man, be wise with that as well too. Because guess what? Just because she looks good doesn't mean that she's for you. Or just because that brother, dressed fly, whatever the case may be, doesn't mean that he's for you. You understand? And that's where it comes, with that knowledge and that wisdom and that patience. You understand? You can still, like be, social with them. You know what I'm saying? But just know that on that type of level, that they're not for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be around that wrong crowd. You understand? Be social with them and be cordial with them. But of course, I'm pretty sure by that time we as a whole has understood that that person just not rocking with me like that, or morally that they not rocking with the Most High like I'm rocking with the Most High. You just gotta phase your way out of that person's life. You understand? Check up on them, be cordial. You understand? Especially if they is real. You understand? Invite them to the Passover once again. Passover April 4th, Houston, Texas, sundown. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you contacting your camp leader. Make sure you're getting all your affairs in. Make sure that you're paying that Passover fee. Make sure you're getting your flights, your hotels, your garments, your rides, whatever the case may be. Make sure that we are getting that done, man. Make sure that we contact our camp leader to give him updates. You understand? So we can do everything with DC in order. All right. All right. Next, we're gonna go to First Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 20. All right. Like I said before, if y'all got any question, comments, just make sure y'all type them in. Like I said, we'll be able to get to them. Yeah. First Timothy chapter 6 and verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babbling, in opposition of science falsely so called, which some professing have erred concerning the faith. Grace be with thee. You understand? You gotta look at all these false entities and these false gods and these fake gods. You understand? Oh, and we gotta realize, man, that Christ and the apostles and the brothers in the Bible, they knew about the witchcraft, man. Because guess what? The witchcraft was around when they were around. You know what I'm saying? Now we got what? We got the crystals and the kundalinis and the chakras and all this nonsense that black people we love to follow, man. We love to follow those fake gods, man. You understand? We got one moment here, make sure I didn't go down. Seeing a little glitch. I think we still up and running. You understand? You gotta realize, man, that all these are distractions, man. You know, so now they even got on TikTok where you can what is it? You can set up like an like official battle, and people send you money and do all them things. You understand? It's just it's just another way to distract you, man. Once again, like I said earlier, let's make sure that we have everything that we need in our respectful zones by contacting your camp leader, making sure that we have everything afloat, and make sure that we have everything um that we need in our schools, before we do some obnoxious things with our funds, man. And the sisters, make sure that you're contacting your husband, contacting your camp leader, you understand? If you're not married, whatever the case may be, make sure that we are doing everything in proper order, man. Make sure we're doing those things in proper order. Give me 1 second here. Maybe I can look it up right here. I don't think it'll mess me up. Hold up. One moment here. No. All right. Let's do that. All right. Next, we're gonna go to Wisdom of Solomon. Probably gonna be in here for a little while. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon. We're gonna start at verse. Let's see where we're gonna start at here. Make sure it's KJV. This Wisdom of Solomon 6. We're gonna start at verse 8. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verse 8. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Until therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. Meaning what, man? Yes, and the Most High sees you as far as when it comes to use an instance as far as how we learn wisdom from like a Christian, or how we learn quote unquote wisdom from from a fake Israelite, or how we learn wisdom from a quote unquote woke person. You understand? We gotta realize who we gaining this wisdom from. You understand? But of course, if we learn the wisdom here in the ISUPK and the truth, you understand, we gotta realize that we cannot fall away and go back to our old selves, or go back to our old lives, man. You understand? We can't do those things, man. Why? Because guess what? It's like we're learning for nothing, man. Verse 10. Once again, when the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, make sure I'm in 6, which I am. We're gonna read verse 10. For they keep holiness holy shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer, man. You understand? We as a people, we have to keep everything that's holy, true holiness, by keeping that law, man. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? The word holy means what? It means separate, man. You say it means separate. This is a separate book for a separate people. You understand? This Bible is only for Black, Latinos, and Native Indians, man. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow, man, but it's the truth, man. It's the truth according to the Bible, man. Nothing but the truth, man. You understand? Let's just drop down. All right, 10. Let's drop down to 17. For the very true beginning of her is a desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. You understand? Then we say earlier, one of those words was what? Was desire. You understand? Being a Hebrew Israelite, you have to discipline yourself, man. We have to discipline ourselves to a T, man. You understand? Like we talked about earlier, you know what I'm saying? Waking up and doing what? Seeing different ways of how we can serve the Most High. Seeing different ways of how we can become a better Hebrew Israelite. Seeing different ways of how we can, form those righteous habits versus forcing those unrighteous habits, or ungodly habits. You understand? So things we have to do, man, day in and day out. Every single day we have to do this. Every single day we have to do it, man. You understand? But guess what? That's discipline. You understand? You can discipline yourself. Guess what? You either you can discipline yourself, or guess what, man? We have tactics and different things that will allow or to guide you and help you to be able to discipline you to serve the Most High, man, and to truly love the Most High and truly love His people, man. Verse 18, and love is keeping of our laws, and the giving heed unto the laws is assurance of incorruption, and the incorruption maketh us near unto God, man. You understand? All in all, man, keep these laws, man. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. We have to, man. Therefore, the desire of a woman bring it to a kingdom, man. And that's the real world right there, man. You understand? That's not no. That's the true reality, man. It's not no TV show. It's not no movie. That's just straight up reality, man. Straight up and down, 100% reality, man. That we have to heap to, that we have to stand on every single day. Every single day we got to stand on this truth. Every single day we got to stand on the truth and what's real. Everything else, man, is fable, is fake. You know what I'm saying? We can, dispose of it. But more importantly, we as a people should never dispose this truth, man. We as Black Latinos and Native Indians, we should never dispose of this truth. Why? Because this is the thing that's going to get us to understand how important it is to get to that kingdom. Talking about the real kingdom. You understand? All right, let's go to Romans 1. All right. Back to Romans 1. What's that? Acts, Romans. Yeah. So, all right. Romans 1 and 21. It's the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 21. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, just became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. You understand? We talked about that earlier. You understand? When they, look at themselves as God, and they look at themselves as, everything, and they disrespect the Most High, man. You understand? Talk about Christianity. Let's read that once again, so it can be embedded in our mindset. I hope brothers and sisters are taking notes so we can be writing down these scriptures and becoming better. Once again, this is the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 21. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened, man. You understand? They know God, but guess what? They choose not to serve him. Why? Because we believe, as a people, we believe that Christ is a white man. Let's just keep it real. As a people, as a whole, you understand? There's still people on the earth today that believe that Jesus Christ is a white man. You understand? And even if let's just take the whole Bible out of it, man. You understand? Look at the birthplace of Christ. There were no Caucasian in that particular time that Christ was born, in that given time and in that given place, man. You understand? Take the whole Bible out of it. Now, of course, the Bible does show that he's a black man from the tribe of Judah. You understand? But let's just take the whole Bible out of it. You understand? Christ was what? Christ was in Jerusalem. You know, so more in Jerusalem. And in that given time when Christ was born, there were no Caucasian people whatsoever, man. But once again, that imagination. Look at the movies. Look at Hollywood. Look at what's that movie? The Passion of Christ. You understand? Look at all these movies talking about Moses and talking about talking about keeping the commandments. You understand? Talking about what's some other movies that they got? Solomon and what's the other one? Samson. You know what I'm saying? They got them all as what? As Caucasian people. Once again, that imagination, that fake world, you understand, that fake society that is, changing our minds to make us to believe exactly what they, as far as talking about white society, exactly what they want us to believe. You understand? But once again, you have strong pillars here in the ISUPK. You understand that has a strong, solid foundation that is unmovable. You understand? And we stand on this truth. Why? Because we understand this truth and we are living this truth. And it's in the Bible, man. You understand? Let's read that again. So you'll be embedded all through our mindsets. Once again, it's the book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 21. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Like I said earlier, with them Christian pastors, they make themselves wise. They use all these, these words that you can only find in the thesaurus and in these encyclopedias. And they are being made as fools. You understand? They are the ones that are being made as fools. You understand? You got to realize, man. And think about it, us as a whole, man. It's like we've become comfortable to evil. We become comfortable with being lied to. We become comfortable with what? With showing, you understand, with showing that we are this quote unquote wise person or this wise man or this wise woman. You understand? The Bible talks about it being a fool, man. The Bible says that that's a fool. You understand? We have to do this thing day in and day out. We have to do it day in and day out, man. Why? Because this is what the Bible tells us to do, man. You know, so we can't serve, we can't serve the Most High one day, and then the next day we serving, I don't know, we serving Buddha, or we serving all them different type of entities and all those different breaks offs of Christianity. Can't do that. You understand? Let me get back to it. Where am I at now? Here we go. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. Going back to the Wisdom of Solomon. And like I said earlier, if y'all got any questions, comments, make sure you type them in. A little bit of rock it out. Give me one moment here, though. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. All right. Got that. Oh, man. All right, so we going to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14. We're going to start at verse 9. Once again, it's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 9. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike, hateful unto Yahweh. Once again, for the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike, hateful unto Yahweh, man. You gotta realize, man, that every lustful thought that we have as far as people, as Black, Latinos, and Native Indians, guess what? All that is going to burn. All that is going to be non-existent when Christ comes back to do what? To restore order in this place that is so needed. You understand? Order is so needed in this place, man. You understand? We have female pastors, man. We have females that are breaking down the scriptures when it says blatantly that a woman should learn in silence. That's what the Bible says. But if we talk about it, guess what? It's well, what about X, Y, and Z? What about this? What about that? What about what the scripture says, though? You understand? It's like we miss the whole point of the scriptures. We miss the whole point of what? Of understanding and comprehending the Bible versus us wanting to just do any and everything that we want to do. You understand? Once again, let's read it again. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike, hateful unto the Most High. Verse 10, for that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. You understand? So if we're following Christianity, guess what? We're going to be punished as well too, man. You understand? We as a people, we as a whole, because guess what? It's brothers that are Hebrew Israelites that are in the Christian church. It's sisters that are in the Christian church that are what? That are Hebrew Israelites that are following a false doctrine. They're following it. You understand? And they believe it. Why? Because of this crazy Christian pastor. Let's keep reading. Verse 11, therefore, even unto the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation because of the creature of Yahweh. They are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of man and a snare to the feet of the unwise. Let's read that again, man. That's a mouthful right there, man. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of Yahweh, they are become an abomination and stumbling blocks to the souls of man and a snare to the feet to the unwise, man. Yes, and this Gentile form is talking about, say for instance that, like right here, I'm in America, but guess what? Um, I'm not an American. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And I'm just over here, or for say, Gentiles, as far as the ones that are following the customs and the laws of white society. You understand? I realize, man, that when it comes to truly serving the Most High, man, guess what? These idols and these fables and these things that are an abomination to the Most High. There's no competition to the Most High, man. The Most Highs are going to always win, whether we want to believe it or not. The Most High will always win. He's always going to win. Let that just stick within our mindset, man, that the Most High is always going to win, man. Whether we want to believe it or not, man, He is going to win. You understand? We gotta look at these stumbling blocks, man. These stumbling blocks, as a whole, is hindering God's chosen people from what? From a reality, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's trapping us in a it's trapping us in a fog that we just can't, that we can't see through anymore. You understand? And that is never going to change. We're just in that fog. We're just in that fog, and it's never going to change. Let's keep reading. Verse 12. Once again, it's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, we in verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of what? A spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life. You understand? Now look at it, man. These idols was, way before we was even thought of, man. You understand? Realize that all that is the beginning of evil, man. You understand? Gotta think about it, man. Corruption is just another word for what? Destruction, man. You understand? It's going to be a trend that's not going to last very, very long, man. It's not going to last very long, man. You know what I'm saying? This corruption and this corruption that's going on within God's chosen people, within that Christian church, within these fake Israelite groups, within all these different type of forms of Christianity. That corruption is not going to last for long, man. Because guess what, man? Christ is going to come back, and guess what? The truth is going to be revealed, man. The truth is going to be revealed, man. You understand? Whether you want to believe me or not, man, that truth is going to be revealed of Christ. You understand? That truth is going to be revealed of the Most High. The truth is going to be revealed of who's God's chosen people, and who Christ died for. You understand? In the image of Christ, those things are going to be revealed, whether we like it or not, man. Guess what, man? It's going to be no more corruption, though. You understand? We're not going to be able to sleep with another man's wife no more. We're not going to be able to, marry outside of our nationality. We're not going to be able to do those things. Why? Because the Bible already speaks about it. You understand? It's going to be a order correction upon the whole earth. So we gotta look forward to, man. So things we gotta look forward to. You understand? Um, let's see. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 12. Let's see. We want to start earlier. Like I said, if y'all got any questions or comments, we got G Gray F213 F2 or was it 1213? You understand? Speak your mind, whatever is, holding you back, whatever the case may be. Hell, you can even come up to the stage if you want to. You understand? And speak your mind, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Just put that request in and we'll be able to get you on stage. So you can, do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you a little, your little 10 seconds of fame, whatever the case may be. You understand? Got a lot of scriptures. Hopefully we'll be able to get through all of them. Once again, Shalagia for the delay earlier. Once again, ISUPK Passover. Make sure you pay that Passover fee. Make sure you get yourself down to Houston, Texas, April 4th. You know what I'm saying? Jam-packed weekend. You know what I'm saying? Lamb slaughter, kids party, black party, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Passover, went out of order. You understand? All different type of events are going on that whole week. Make sure that you're getting yours affairs in line, man. Where we at? Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. Let's start at verse 11. So we in Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 11. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiving sins, and save it in time of affliction. Verse 12. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. You understand? Don't be, it's almost like, being mixed up in two worlds, man. Or you have a world of, you trying to be righteous, and then you have a world where you're nothing but wicked. You understand? You have a world where, oh yeah, I come to class, I check in, I'm, trying to do all the righteous things, but then you have that world behind closed doors where, you're following Christians, or you're celebrating your birthday, or you're celebrating Christmas, and you're still doing all those abominable things that you were doing while you're trying to gain it and learn this truth, man. You understand? Have to be a balance, man. And guess what? You can't balance the Most High, man. You understand? You see, either you're with the Most High or you're not with the Most High, man. Ain't no in between, man. There's no in between. You understand? You can't balance it. You understand? You have to be that you're in the Most High, for the Most High, all 10 toes deep, and for the Most High, man. All right. Verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he that believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. You understand? Weak minded, man. You understand? Getting, like, man, man. It's just we is like we have to realize, man, that if you're saying all of these things with the Most High, it's almost like how the Scripture talks about, with their mouth they worshiping me. You know, what I'm saying they saying all these good things about me, but when it comes to their heart and their understanding and their their well being in life is just so far off. It's just so far off to the point where it's like, man, like why are like why are we trying to battle two things? Why not just be all in for the Most High, or just be all in for yourself? You understand? It's no sweat, man. But when like when you try to play both parties, when you try to do both things, then that's a very, very scary issue, man. Now it's another thing when a brother or sister they're trying to fight those those stumbling blocks and those worldly things that they've been dealing with. It's totally different. You know what I'm saying? Totally different, man. But when you're 100%, when you're 50, when you're 50-50, that's an issue, man. When you're not trying to, change your life, when we are not trying to change our life, when we're not trying to, do the things that are that are good in the sight of the Most High, that's when the issue comes, man. That's when the issue comes, man. Verse 14: Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will you do? What will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Ooh-wee. What shall you do? You understand? You got to endure to the end, brothers and sisters. We have to endure to the end. You understand? We have those crazy Africans talking about that Christ is going to come back in the year 2026. You understand? Sold all their houses, sold all their land, sold all their, all those. I mean, they sold everything. And guess what? We, ain't January, quote unquote January almost up. So they said Christ was going to return January 1st, 2026. So I sold everything, man. You had, like they had people over here believing that same thing. And guess what? They sold everything. Sold their houses, sold their cars, sold their life savings, whatever the case may be. Sold it all, man. Don't lose that patience, man. Got to endure to the end, man. You understand? You got to wait for our king to return, man. You have to wait, man. You got to be patient, though. You understand? And with that patience, guess what? It's going to take a lot of guidance, a lot of advice, a lot of counsels. You understand? That's what we have to do, man. You understand? Verse 15. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways, man. That's what we're thriving to do every single day here in ISUPK on the Command Jenny Hanna, man. These are the things that we love to do, man. We love to see a brother and sister come to the realization that what? Something simple, that they're a Hebrew Israelite, man. And it's not something that you can be converted from. It's just something that with that educe means to bring out what's already within you. Educliate is a Latin word for induce, to bring out of you what's already within you, man. You understand? Every Black, Latino, and Native Indian are a Hebrew Israelite, whether they want to believe it or not, man. Whether you're from the tribe of Judah all the way down to the Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, you are a Hebrew Israelite. But guess what, man? Once again, talking about what's interfering us from serving the Most High, that attention span, that the distraction, the desire, the knowledge. Those are the things that's deferring us and interfering with us with serving the Most High, man. Verse 16, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law, man. It's like, like once you truly seek the Most High, you're gonna naturally, follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's gonna come to you naturally. You understand? Not saying that it's gonna, we're gonna have some type of struggles, or some things that we're gonna have to overcome. But guess what? Once we overcome them, guess what? We're gonna be filled with the law, man. We're not going to desire eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster anymore. We're not going to desire all these abominable things that is at our footstool, man. That is at our footstool. We're not going to desire those undesirable and unrighteous things. Those are things that we're not going to desire. Why? Because we're going to be filled with this law, man. We're going to love it. You understand? We're going to love it. Like, imagine something that you just love so much. Imagine that. But then guess what? Imagine these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. You're going to be, that's true love right there. Those are the things that you're going to be filled with as a people, man. Verse 17, they that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, man. You understand? Verse 18, saying we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of man. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy, man. And that's all the Most High wants you to do. He wants you to try. But guess what? Give it your all, man. We have to give it our all. We have to. Truly, truly have to. Why? Because guess what? Your brothers and sisters are looking at you and they're waiting for you to fail. They're waiting for you to fall. They're waiting for you to say, "Oh, you know what? That's just another phase of life that he or she are going through. They'll be back." You understand? We'll have this joint or this blunt rolled up for them when they come back. But the Most High wants you to try and give it your all. You understand? And guess what? You got brothers and sisters here in ISUPK that, guess what? That's probably been through the same thing that you're going through right now. As a whole, as a people. You understand? All you gotta do is ask. That's all we gotta do. All we gotta do is ask. Ask that question, pick up that phone. You understand? Pick up that phone, call, and get to it. Our lives depend on it, man. All right. Let's go back to Romans. Like I said, we're probably gonna do a couple more scriptures, and then we're gonna close it out. All right. It's the book of Romans, chapter 12, and verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. You understand? Meaning what? This is, I believe. Let me make sure this is talking about the body. No, it's talking about spiritual gifts. You understand? Now this is I don't want to necessarily say like I want to say it's a touchy topic because the Christians, they look at spiritual gifts as what, as talking, speaking in tongues, and um, being able to, quote unquote, prophesy to, someone, or speak something into someone's life. You understand? A spiritual gift can just be, you know what? That's a good sister right there, man. She's thriving to serve the Most High, man. That's a spiritual gift right there. How do we know that? Because guess what? Not everybody have that in them to be able to serve the Most High, man. Not everybody, not every sister have, that gift to, serve their husband. You understand? Or a man don't have that gift to be able to, serve and, protect and, be there for his wife or wives. You understand? Not all, kids are obedient. That's a gift right there. That's a spiritual gift right there. You understand? We gotta, we gotta get out of Hollywood and, in a fame of Christianity when they talk about spiritual gifts, man. You understand? The spiritual gift can be, like something that's just very, very simple, man. You understand? Somebody just, just always just, like always just filled with joy and, happiness, and, someone that's, that is very, very, for say strict, when it comes to these law, statutes, and commandments. Guess what? That's a gift, man. You understand? And guess what, man? It's so many members but guess what? It's all on one agenda. It's all on one body. You understand? That's what all about, man. Because when we get into the everybody breaking off and doing this with Christianity and doing that with quote unquote conscious community, that's when it become an issue, man. Let's have our focus on the Most High, man. Let's have our focus on that agenda. Let's have our focus on that prize, man. When Christ returns, man, and do any and everything that is going to take. And guess what? All it takes is being righteous. All it takes is doing any and everything that you can do to become a righteous brother and a righteous sister. All right. Try to get a couple more scriptures. Good. Now I got like 10 more scriptures. I actually I may not be able to get through all these scriptures. Let me see here. Probably just do one more. Let's go back to Corinthians. Man, I kind of want to. Did I do Corinthians 12 already? Now let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 12. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 12. For as the body is one and have many members, and all of the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Christ, man. You understand? Just talking about, like as far as the spiritual gifts. You understand? And may not everybody have some type of spiritual gift, man, but guess what? They have an intricate part in this body, which is one that we just read. You understand? Which is one body, but guess what? It's many members. Meaning what? It's many bodies within this one body. You understand? And all of it become what? Surrounded around this Most High, surrounded around this Bible. You understand? That's what it's all about, brothers and sisters, man. It's truly, truly giving your all to the Most High, man. Truly, truly, what? Dying every single day to your flesh. Dying to it, man. Why? Because guess what? There's nothing good in there, man. All it wants to do is corrupt you and do exactly what white society wants to do to you, man. There's nothing good in it, man. Never has been, never will be. These are the things that we gotta look forward to, man. These are the things that we have to prepare ourselves for every single day. Serving the Most High every single day is a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to see a new brother and sister coming to the school, man, and realize and say that white society has deceived me. You understand, for so many years. It's a great thing, man. It's a great thing to see. It's a great thing to just be a part of. These are the things we have to do. That's what we gotta look forward to, man. You understand? Because guess what? There's gonna be more brothers and sisters that come into this truth, man. You understand? And they're gonna have that fire and that zeal and that will. And guess what? They're gonna be filled with the laws, man. And they're gonna be filled to be able to serve brothers and sisters, man. Just like we here in the ISUPK are doing now, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's not give up now, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's not lose that patience. Let's not lose what the Most High truly, truly wants for us, man. All right, once again, make sure you pay that Passover fee. Make sure you're getting everything in line for the Passover. Make sure you are doing everything, man, that is righteous unto the Most High, man. Let's leave all these fables and all these other things, to aside, man. One moment here. Let me see if I have the announcements. One moment. Yep. All right. We are the ISUPK. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Taj was a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verses 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offer for priest not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. One momento. We have, I want to say it's Purim. I'm going to say it's like March 20th, but let me just make sure. One moment. Here we go. Purim is the 14th day of the 15th day for the 12th month. You want to follow on Monday, March 2nd, and Tuesday, March 3rd of 2026. You can read about this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. Let me get back here. Remind Occupant Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, you understand? Shalom. Yahba Shemi Ashah Barakathum. Yahweh Shamar Elata Bashimi Awashai. You understand? Make sure y'all rock it out. We got Commander Jenny Hunter radio show. Make sure that you are paying that Passover fee. Make sure you're paying your tithes. You understand? Make sure you're getting all your affairs ready for Passover. Once again, got any questions? Yes, at DM us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you can find us. You understand? And the numbers are going to be on those social media platforms as well. All right. Shalom.